Everybody see my screen? I think I'm seeing it properly. So perfect. Okay, so welcome to part 2 of the Gut Microbiome Series. So last week, we discussed the gut anatomy of both dogs and cats and how they're similar and different. We also looked at the difference between the microbiome and microbiota. Just as a quick review, the microbiome is the whole environment, including the living microorganisms within the gut, whereas microbiota are the small life. Micro meaning small, biota meaning life. And lastly, we looked quickly at dysbiosis. Now, this week, we're going to focus more on dysbiosis, do a little bit more of a deep dive on what it is, the signs and symptoms, and the causes. We'll also discuss what leaky gut syndrome is and what we can do about all of this. So what is gut dysbiosis? Well, first of all, dysbiosis is like dys means not good, and biosis meaning like your microbiome. So it's an imbalance in the microbiome. This happens when you have, say, opportunistic bacteria taking advantage of the microbiome. Maybe you're introducing some pathogens or toxins like pesticides, hormones, antibiotics. Mental health can also have a factor. So like if the animal is stressed, this is going to change the balance of the gut microbiome. But a dysbiosis is when you're having negative effects caused by that imbalance within the gut microbiome. Also, just a note, dysbiosis is not just a stomach issue, it's the entire gut microbiome. So that starts in the mouth and goes all the way to the bum. So this is affecting your digestion, your immune system, your metabolic processes, your nervous system, literally everything. The gut microbiome is so important to your entire system health. This is why each and every product that we produce or supplements that we produce here at Myco have a core focus on supporting the gut microbiome. So some common signs of gut dysbiosis, and I'm sure you guys have seen these before in customers that are coming to you or even on your neighbor's pets that you see. But commonly we're seeing loose stools or diarrhea, gas and bloating, vomiting, food sensitivities, and allergies. Those are becoming very, very common. Itchy skin, whether that is the neck, the belly, the bum, you name it. Bad breath. This is also a sign of gut dysbiosis because the gut microbiome, like I said before, starts in the mouth and goes all the way to the bum. So in humans, we call it halitosis, literally means bad breath. But this is not an oral issue. This is a gut microbiome issue. So just eating mints or taking antacids is not going to do anything for you. You have to rebalance the gut microbiome. Other symptoms you'll see are low energy and an immune imbalance. So you could have a pet that is getting sick more often, whether that's, say, with kennel cough, if they're more just lethargic or they're not eating. These are signs of gut dysbiosis. Here we have some photos of those common symptoms. So this is what we really focus on at Myco Pet is ear infections, yeast dermatitis, licking at their paws, scooting a lot on the carpet or on the floor, rashes, full body hives, and that tear staining. Do you guys see anything else with your customers that you think could indicate a gut dysbiosis or an imbalance in the gut microbiome?
Maybe lack of appetite?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, lack of appetite for sure is going to be a symptom of gut dysbiosis. Often because, like, you know, when you have an upset stomach, do you really want to eat? Like your appetite goes way down because it likely will just make you feel more sick.
Eleanor, what about with cats who, like raw fed cats that all of a sudden get picky with proteins? They don't want this one, then they don't want that one, then they don't want this one, then they don't want that. Like they slowly start to go off every protein known to man.
Yeah, so that is usually an issue of our farming practices. And I find cats are like a lot more sensitive. Like they know that something is going to make them sick. I find like faster than a dog. per se, just because we see cats a lot more frequently refuse food. And when I say it's because of farming practices, it's because they can smell the hormones and antibiotics and GMO foods that that animal has been eating in the meat. So in North America, we like the majority of our farming is using hormones, pesticides, antibiotics, GMO, and you literally are what you eat. So if you're consuming things that are GMO, like grain that's GMO, that's going into your body, you're becoming GMO. Like your cells have genetically modified organisms in them. Yeah, so I always look for when I go to the grocery store, antibiotic and hormone-free meat, or organic meat. It's the same thing. Okay, so we alluded to this just now, but some common causes of gut dysbiosis are number one cause is antibiotics. Antibiotics are given out like candy by veterinarians these days for literally anything. Often they won't even test, say an ear infection, they'll just be like, here's an antibiotic, this is what you need. But the thing about antibiotics is, let's break down the name. So you have anti, so against, and biotics, meaning life. So these will kill all life, good or bad. So what happens is you have billions and billions of bacteria, fungi, biotics that are living in the system, in the dog and the cat system. And you have good and you have bad, but usually, to keep the balance, you have more good than you have bad. Then when you take antibiotics, it kills everything. And now there's this huge opportunity for any microorganism to take hold and grow. If you're not reestablishing the gut microbiome with good biotics or probiotics, then you're leaving the opportunity for the bad stuff to overgrow and grow even more. So after the course of antibiotics, we always like to really increase probiotic administration, and even during. So when people use antibiotics, they're effective, like they have their killing action for about 2 hours after administration. Then you want to take probiotics. And I'm sure some of you have probably had experience going to the pharmacist. If you get a yeast infection, they give you the antibiotic, but then they also tell you need to be taking probiotics at the same time, 2 hours after. Another common cause of gut dysbiosis is ultra-processed pet food. Is there any pet food that you guys would absolutely not recommend to a customer?
Kibble. Sorry.
Kibble, yeah. Flat, kibble, straight. Yeah, kibble is processed, right? I kind of equate it to feeding your kid McDonald's every day, right? It's like it's not food, or it's not fully food. So ultra processed foods are very low in fiber. They have all these additives like preservatives and fillers in them. All these things are going to work against the health of the gut microbiome, whether that's reducing diversity, killing off different bacteria that you really want to have in there, or feeding the bad stuff. So that's kind of how ultra processed food triggers gut dysbiosis. We also talked about pesticide-laden ingredients and GMOs. GMOs, they are not, because humans have genetically modified these organisms, they're not recognized as normal in our bodies, whether it's a human, a dog, or cat, you name it. So what happens is it ends up activating the immune system. And when you activate the immune system, you're causing full body systemic inflammation. And this is just consistent stress on the body. So if you're coming in contact with GMOs or pesticides, because those do the same thing, that's a literal toxin, you're putting stress on your immune system and your liver and kidneys in order to detox those compounds out of the body. When you're doing that every single day, now we move over to chronic stress. That's putting your body under chronic stress. Now that's within the immune system and the gut microbiome. Other chronic stress can be anxiety, traveling all the time, if that's a stressful trigger for your pet. But there's obviously other stress triggers in life that our pets will come in contact with. Hopefully it's acute and not chronic. Chronic is when we always have issues. It's same with us. If you find yourself under chronic stress, we gain weight, right? That's the cortisol that is pumping through our bodies, just kind of wreaking havoc on every single cell in our body.
I think too, we need to keep in mind our stress really goes down the leash to the animals.
Mhm.
Living in stress, it's because of our stress. So that's always a good check. I say to my clients, like, what's going on in your life right now? Because they're reading it, and like a 2-year-old child, they don't know what to do with that. They just know something's wrong. They can smell the pheromones, they can sense it, and that puts them in a state of tension, which then the gut goes off. So, it's not just something stressful, specifically dog or cat related. It can be human related, that they're living under our chronic stress.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up because you're absolutely correct. Yeah, our animals feel our emotions and what's going on. So yeah, amazing point, Donna. Thank you. That also brings me to the point that there's the nervous system that connects the gut to the brain, and it goes back and forth. So if your gut is upset, it causes your cognition or your mental state to also become upset, and vice versa. They have a link. Now, interestingly enough, 80% of the signals of the nervous system that flow between the gut and the brain actually go from the gut to the brain, which is telling us that the status or the health of the gut microbiome has a huge effect on your mental status. So yeah, if you have an anxious dog or an uppity dog or cat, and one of the domains you should be focusing on is the gut microbiome. And that's actually one of the reasons why in our Focus and Calm supplement, we have those probiotics and colostrum that are supporting the gut microbiome so that we can relax the nervous system and help the mental status of the animal. 2 other common causes of gut dysbiosis are vaccine adjuvants, which are the extra particles that they put in vaccines that are supposed to help with the effectiveness of the vaccine, but are often toxic to the body, and routine medications. Again, this is going back to stressing the liver and the kidneys, and of course the gut microbiome. Like if you or I take NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatories like Advil, this is always hard on the gut microbiome itself. It'll change the pH of the gut microbiome, which then causes more or fewer of a certain type of probiotic or like antibiotic or not anti, but a bad bacteria that we don't want in there to flourish. Yeah, so vaccines and routine medications also have a negative impact on your gut balance. Okay, so what is leaky gut syndrome? So leaky gut is a symptom of or a condition of gut dysbiosis. We're seeing this a lot more in our dogs and cats. You can see it when an animal is like unable to gain weight, or if they have a dull coat. These are signs that they have a leaky gut syndrome because they're not able to absorb the nutrients that they need properly in order to have a healthy coat or healthy ears or healthy paws, things like that. What happens in leaky gut is, if you can see here in the diagram, there's these things called tight junctions between the cells in the intestinal cell wall. Tight junctions are supposed to let in certain molecules, but not all. And when they become larger, they end up allowing food or feces, really, bacteria and other pathogens to flow into the bloodstream of the body. This is going to cause a lot of inflammation. So I'm just letting one more guest in here. It's going to cause a lot of systemic inflammation throughout the body. Again, that is one of the causes of gut dysbiosis. So it's just going to compound the issue that we're already having. The other thing is, it's not just a one-way tract. It can actually flow back into the digestive tract as well, some other toxins and bacteria from the bloodstream itself. So again, we're causing systemic inflammation and immune activation because we have that inflammation and the body's trying to clean it up. But again, this is causing chronic stress on the body everywhere. So now if your animal comes in contact with another pathogen, or it has other stress, or you're bringing stress to the table, it has fewer resources in order to keep itself healthy. And now you're going to have a lot of negative health outcomes starting, like we saw in a couple slides before, like the ear infections, itchy paws, allergies, maybe other infections like kennel cough. Okay, so what we do about it. So at Myco Pet, we have two protocols. We have the Itchy Pet Protocol Essentials and Max. The difference between the two is with the Max, we're adding in our lean mass supplement, the yellow jar. The reason why is because it kind of supercharges the gut and immunity formula. It has a lot more colostrum in it, so that is known. You can find a ton of research studies on this, proving the efficacy in sealing those tight junctions and supporting leaky gut syndrome. We also are adding additional probiotics in there to further support the gut microbiome. And the reishi mushroom specifically is amazing for reducing systemic inflammation and feeding those probiotics, as all mushrooms act as a prebiotic. Fun fact. So the times when we recommend the Itchy Pet Protocol Max is for when the conditions have been severe and or chronic. The spray itself is your topical, so this will help to give immediate relief from, say, an ear infection, itchy paws, hot spots. What it is we use a compound called hypochlorous acid. Now, hypochlorous acid is naturally occurring within white blood cells of all animals with a spine. So we all make this. And in our bodies, it's used to kill pathogens and accelerate wound healing. So this is a really good use for hot spots, ear infections, itchy paws, even anal glands, or any cut or scratch. Because it's naturally occurring within the body, it also doesn't sting. Our bodies make this. It's endogenous to us. It's natural. It's totally safe. Compared to, say, colloidal silver or alcohol or hydrogen peroxide, it has a higher effectiveness rate at 99.9% and a shorter contact time of only 1 to 3 minutes. Colloidal silver, on the other hand, takes 5 to 10 minutes of wet contact time to get to 70 to 90% effective. So the Protect spray is far more effective and faster acting than colloidal silver. Great. Any questions on those? Okay. So as you guys know, we do have these supplements. So we got gut and immunity and lean mass, like we just covered, our Protect spray. Then we have a joint supplement, Focus and Calm. Again, that's looking at the gut microbiome from the gut to the brain. We have probiotics 3P, which is double the concentration of pre, pro, and postbiotics. That's what the 3P stands for, compared to all of the other supplements that we have. We have a urinary supplement that recently launched and our pure turkey tail, which is a 30-to-1 extract. This is the most concentrated turkey tail product that you can get on the market. The reason why is because we are the mushroom people. If you're looking for a mushroom supplement, think Myco Pet. And I have one more announcement. We just recently launched our new outdoor spray. This is an organic, all-natural, essential oil spray that's good for both you and your dogs. Not for cats, though. Cats do groom themselves too much. This won't be good for them, but it is amazing for you and your dogs, and it's best used before you go outside or as you're going outside for your walks, trail hikes, camping, going to the cottage, playing baseball or soccer, anywhere where the outdoors could possibly be very annoying, buzzing around you. Awesome. And that's all we have today. Do you guys have any questions?
Yeah, Eleanor, can you comment on like the turkey tail, the difference between like a powdered extract like that and the liquids?
Yes, absolutely. So liquid extract is an alcohol extract. So you're only getting fat-soluble compounds from the turkey tail. You're leaving all those water-soluble ones away. But obviously there's other medicinal compounds that have different solubility. So you want both. With ours, we use both. We do 2 different extracts. We do an alcohol extract, but then we also do a hot water extract. So you get all of those beneficial medicinal compounds. So it's more of a whole plant extract rather than just half of the compounds.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. I kind of go back to the cannabis industry. If you guys ever use cannabis at all, there is a thing called the entourage effect that they talk about a lot. And that talks about using the whole plant to provide benefits rather than just CBD or just THC or just this terpene or that terpene. This is the same thing where CBD actually isn't activated unless you have a drop of THC in it. It needs to work off of each other. So if you only have one pure extract, it doesn't work. This is why we use the whole fungus in our formulas, so that you get all beneficial compounds and they can work off of each other and activate each other in a synergistic way. Any other questions? Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. And we'll catch you next month in August, the last Thursday of the month, for our next webinar, part 3 in the Gut Microbiome Series.
Awesome.
Have a great day.
Thanks. Bye now.